It's Zena. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome back to Spooky Stuff. We're back in the horror library because today we are celebrating this glorious holiday by talking about 3 horror movies that are about love. When it comes to Valentine's Day, I know not everybody celebrates this day the same way. There are some people where it's just like they're all about it. They just celebrate it. It's just about love, love, love. Love is in the air. Love is everywhere. They even just take it where it's just like, you know what? It's not just going to be one day. They're going to celebrate the entire month. While there's other people where it's like they don't really care for the day and they celebrate it with anti-Valentine's Day celebration. While there are even some people where it's just like, you know what? It's just a regular day, or this day doesn't exist. Or there's some people who are like me. Silver eyeball! I hope that we all learn to stop. Why am I? And let's just be honest, horror movies are life. So it's just like, this is just another day for me to watch more horror movies, but this time horror movies with a theme, horror movies that are about love. So this list that I'm going to share with you guys today, I'm really excited to present it to you. It was really hard just coming up with 3 because as I'm sitting here right now, just thinking about it, there are so many horror movies that are about love. Let's see, there's Waxwork from the 80s, Crimson Peak, which is just such a beautiful movie. If you want something more thriller, there's What Lies Beneath. There's even something where it's like, you know what, if you want something more recent, Happy Death Day. Let me just say before I dive into this list, as always, I'm going to get into some spoilers when it comes with these movies. I mean, at first I used to say there might be spoilers, but you know what? No, there's gonna be spoilers. So just in case, if you're the kind of person that's just like, oh, Zena, how could you spoil that for me? You know, because I know that's what a lot of people do. That's what they do. So I'm just trying to let you know ahead of time, hey, there's gonna be spoilers. So as always, if I mention a movie that you really want to see and you don't want me to spoil it for you, pause this video, that is. Go watch the movie, come back, sit down, press play, and enjoy it, and we can be like horror movie friends, because we are. So the first movie I'm going to talk about is the Swedish horror from 2008, and it's called Let the Right One In. This one is based off of the novel with the same title from 2004. So this movie is about a 12-year-old boy named Oscar, and he gets bullied. He meets his neighbor named Eli, and she's very mysterious and very like, ooh, I'm a mystery. I guess that's mysterious too, but whatever. So the two, you know, they start to form a bond. They start to become friends. And, you know, something that Oscar notices about Eli is that there's something off about her. He can't quite put his little finger on it. He doesn't know what it is. But then Eli reveals to him her connection that she has with the local murders, because I forgot to tell you, yeah, the town that they live in, there are people who are getting brutally murdered, and it's just like there's snow, there's blood, there's vampires, she's a vampire, there's revenge, and boom, there you have it. But you know what? Oscar accepts her for who she is. So this movie, I really love it because even though it's just like snow everywhere, I actually love snow, and I think that the cinematography in it is super just amazing. Love it! Sorry. But the thing is with this movie, again, what it's basically about, just the bottom line, it's about these 2 lonely kids who, you know what, they find each other and they change their lives. So this movie is about friendship, it is about love, it is about revenge, it is about vampires, but it's all in the mix. It's kind of like a coming to age horror movie. And also, I forgot to say this earlier before I started this list. When it comes to horror movies do not just have to be scary. And I say that because I was just having a conversation with someone, and I remember we were talking about, well, I won't get into which movie we were talking about because that could possibly be a whole different video. Basically, this person was just saying to me how they didn't like this movie, a certain movie, because they didn't think it was scary. It wasn't scary. And something that I feel like what people need to understand when it comes to horror movies can be whatever it wants to be. Horrors can have comedy in it. It can have drama in it. It can be a thriller. It can be whatever it wants to be. I'm sure there's plenty of times where you watch a comedy and you're sitting there but you don't think it's funny. That doesn't mean that it's not a comedy. Truth be told, I'm kind of getting sick of hearing that, like, oh, well, I didn't like it because it wasn't scary. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. Okay, well, good for you. What do you want, a cookie? Like, you're not gonna get one. I don't like to share, so no. The next movie we're going to talk about was actually made 10 years after Let the Right One In, and it is Unsane from 2018. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to talk about this one. Unsane is about a woman named Sawyer who relocates from Boston to Pennsylvania because she's trying to escape this mysterious stalker who's been stalking her whole entire existence for the past 2 years. And when it comes to this stalker, he's not that quite of a mystery because we find out early on who he is exactly. Like, we even find out his name and everything. Anyway, one day while Sawyer's talking to a therapist, without even knowing it, she voluntarily commits herself to a behavioral center for 24 hours. So finding this out, of course, she tries to get out of it. She even calls the police, and honestly, what are they gonna do? She's supposedly signed some documents. Supposedly. While her time there, her stalker, of course, you know he's gonna be there. Of course he had something to do with it. He does so many outrageous things to her. Stuff where it's like, as the viewer, I'm not gonna lie, it made me uncomfortable because it's just like, you know, because you feel bad for Sawyer because it's like, here she is and she's still just getting stalked, but this time it's like she's trying to tell everyone around her what's going on, but no one is listening to her, no one is hearing her, and it was hurtful, you know, for me to watch that. But then at the same time too, there were some questionable things that Sawyer would do where it's just like, all right, she would repeatedly keep on doing the same things, and it's just like, you keep on getting the same results, girl, so maybe you should, like, I don't know, try to switch it up. But yeah, point is, this stalker, he was doing all these things because supposedly he loved her. And I say that because who knows? Because he was clearly he has issues. Again, as the viewer, you're sitting there, you're watching this, you're feeling super uncomfortable. And I mean, it was a great movie though. This movie was actually shot with an iPhone 7 Plus. For those of you who's not familiar with Soderbergh, he filmed a lot of big movies like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13. I guess I could have just said Ocean's 11 through 13. He also filmed Magic Mike, Hunger Games, and this other movie called Side Effects from like 2013. And the last movie we are going to talk about is Spring from 2014. This is just such a beautiful body horror. I'm such a huge fan of body horror movies. I'm kind of late to watching this one. I'm not too sure why, but whatever. So there's this guy named Evan, and he doesn't have like a sense of direction, especially after his mother dies. He's like getting in trouble with the police and everything. So he decides to take a trip to Italy, and while out there, he meets this beautiful woman that he has like such a connection with. I mean, they have a huge connection. The girl's name is Louise, and she's a very gorgeous woman. And you know what? Like, seriously, the two actors who portrayed these roles, wow, like they really seem like they should be together. They had such like chemistry. Anyway, Louise has a secret. Naturally, you know, as they're starting to get to know each other, they're just getting deeper and deeper and everything like that. It's becoming more than something physical. And Louise's secret is that she is a 2,000-year-old monster. And she has such an awesome backstory where it's like, whoa, I would absolutely love to see a spinoff to know more about her background and, you know, her like monster type of background, because it's really cool. But I'm not going to get into that because we have to talk about their love. So, you know, hearing this, Evan is just kind of like, yikes, no, no. He doesn't say that. But at first, you know, hearing that, it's like, you know, come on, if someone told you that they're a 2,000-year-old monster, and there was some stuff that he saw, you know, and so you're actually seeing it. Of course, he's gonna need like a moment. But you know what? Ultimately, he decides that he loves her and he wants to be with her. He doesn't care that she's gross and slippery like a slimy slug. He just wants to be with her, and that is just so romantic. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. What is this love, you know? So yeah, it's just really beautiful. You know, Evan saw Louise for who she really is, and she's more than a gross monster. So that's love, you know? So of course I have to give you guys a bonus, like, because as I was saying earlier, it was really hard for me just to pick 3, and because there's so many. So at first I was gonna go with Clive Barker's Hellraiser from 1987, because let's face it, Julia is the woman that we all love to hate, and plus she was so hot in her crotches for Frank when he was alive, when he was gone. She didn't care. She just wanted it. She wanted it all. But instead, I'm gonna choose another, horror movie from 1987, because 1987 is a bomb year. That's actually the year, you can find it in the Bible. It says like, oh, 1987 is the year that a queen will be born. Like someone very amazing, fantastical, just all around, like she's like the queen of the universe. She's someone who's going to bless people's lives. Who is that that's going to bless people's lives? Who is that? I don't know. Is it me? Yeah, it is. You guessed it. It's me. But seriously, we are going to be talking about The Lost Boys, because what a beautiful movie. I love this movie so much. With The Lost Boys, so it's about these two, teenage brothers, and they move to this small beach town called Santa Carla with their mom, who's like freshly divorced, and she is ready to mingle, okay? And they move in, with their grandpa, with her, their mom's dad, and he's just such a cool guy. He's a little loony bin, but I think he's awesome. I would love to hang out with him. Anyhow, the two brothers, they decide to like explore the area, and they go out to the boardwalk one night, and there's like live music. There's like this shirtless, sweaty man playing the saxophone and like really getting at, and the music is awesome. And in the crowd, there's so many people. The older brother named Michael, he's looking around and he sees this beautiful girl that he just becomes infatuated with, named Star, who has awesome hair, by the way. And just like that, Michael's already in love. He loves what he sees. He doesn't even care that she's with a group of dudes who's clearly in a biker gang. She's clearly with the leader. He doesn't care. That's not gonna stop him from getting himself a new boo. So he pretty much does whatever it takes to be with Star, including turning into a vampire. But not only that, like he almost killed his brother. He could have killed his family, But it also shows the love that he has for his family, and the love that his family has for him, including his younger brother Sam. He loves him so much and wants to desperately help him, and he does whatever it takes as well. When it comes to this movie, there's just so much smexy music, 80s hairstyle running around, people everywhere. There is an awesome beach town that's full of mystery, and dead bodies are piling up, maggots and Chinese food. It's just a wonderful time, and I love it. Alright guys, so that's the list. So I'm interested to know, like, what are some of your favorite horror movies that are about love? Feel free to comment below. Thank you so much. Bye. Because I know that's what a lot of people do. That's what they do.
Oh, well, I didn't like it because it wasn't scary. I wasn't scared.
No.